everyone, my name is Karen, this is my channel RatherBeReading, and today I'm bringing to you my December TBR. I cannot believe that December is finally here. This TBR is, I'm hoping to get a lot read in December. This TBR is just kind of everything that I kind of know that I would hopefully definitely be getting to. I'm hoping to get to a lot more than this. I'm off work after the 21st, and then I'm hoping that I can pack a lot more in to the year. But this is everything that I'm kind of definitely maybe gonna get to. So as always, let's start off with the library books that I need to get to in the month of December. So first off from the library, we have Spell on Wheels by Kate Leff, Megan Levins, and Marissa Louise. This is a standalone graphic novel issue about 3 friends who are all witches, and it's basically a road trip revenge story with witches. This I only hauled last month, I think it was, but this has a hold on it, and so I can't renew it. So I need to get this read and return this to the library this month. In a similar situation, I've got Lethal White by Robert Galbraith. This I haven't even hauled yet. I only picked this up near the start of, so sorry, I didn't haul this in November. It would have been in October. This I picked up near the start of November, and I haven't even hauled in my November haul yet because this TBR will be going up first. However, this, because it's a new release, has many holds on it, and I definitely can't renew it. And so I need to get this read ASAP as well. This is also freaking ginormous. This is, holy dooly. This is like almost 650 pages, which is just huge, but I've really been enjoying this series, so I'm hoping that I'm really gonna like this. I should, I guess, mention, for those of you who don't know, this is the 4th book in the Cormoran Strike series. Cormoran Strike is a private detective, and it's just basically, there's an overarching kind of stuff about the characters, the main characters of the story, but each novel is its own kind of individual mystery, and so I'm really excited to get to this one. Next, I have Between Georgia by Jocelyn Jackson. This was on my TBR last month, but I didn't get to, but these were just additional ones that I added. They weren't actually due until this month, so I definitely need to get to it this month. This one, I've read this synopsis so many times, and I'm still really not clear on what it's about. It's basically about a woman who lives in a small town, and she's got 2 mothers, one who, I don't really get it. It's some kind of family drama. That's all I can really tell you, but I've really enjoyed the 2 other books by Jocelyn Jackson that I've read, so I'm really hoping I'm gonna love this. I then have Paper Girls Volume 1 by Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chiang, Matt Wilson, and Jared K. Fletcher. This is a YA science fiction about 4 girls who have a paper route, and I think it's got something to do with time travel. I've heard very mixed opinions of this, not sure if I'm going to like it, but I'm looking forward to reading it and finding out whether I like it. And the only other thing that I definitely have to read from the library this month is Christy and the Snobs by Anne M. Martin, book 11 in the Babysitters Club series. So excited to get to these Babysitters Club books, as always. Now moving on to the books from my physical TBR shelf that I'm hoping to get to in the month of December. So first off, we have the books in the Sweet series by Wendy Higgins. So we have there was an original trilogy which was made up of Sweet Evil, Sweet Peril, and then Sweet Reckoning. So I believe this was a trilogy, and then following on from that there was Sweet Temptation, which I think may be one of those situations where it's the first book retold from the guy's perspective, which is not my favorite thing, but I owned the rest of them, so kind of had to get it. And if I'm going to read them, I'm going to read the whole thing, because that's just who I am. I'm a completionist. So this, I don't really know what it's about. It's a YA paranormal. I believe it's got something to do with angels and devils. I think maybe the boy in this, I think it maybe has something to do with people, they embody different deadly sins, maybe? This was a series that I was really interested in like years and years ago, and then I never got around to reading, and now I never hear anyone talk about it anymore. I'm thinking this is probably going to be pretty tropey, but hopefully it's like fun, enjoyable tropey. So yeah, looking forward to reading this whole series this month. And then the other book from my physical TBR that I definitely have to get to this month is The Shadow of the Wind by Carlos Ruiz Zafón. I've wanted to read this for so long. This is a fairly chunky-ish book too. Is this over? Yeah, just over 500 pages. This, from what I understand, is about a boy who gets taken to like this library of dead books or something, and then is it dead or forgotten books? And then he has to pick out a book that basically becomes like your book that you like protect or whatever, something like that. However, he then discovers later on that all of the books by this author that his book is from are all being destroyed, and then I think it's about that story. I think this may be part of a series, but I think it might be one of those situations where this book was written as a standalone and then more books came later. I could be completely wrong about that, but if I enjoy this in any event, I will continue on. I'll probably get the other books from the library and see whether I like them, but I've heard really positive things about this book, so I'm really, really looking forward to reading it. Now moving on to the ebooks that I'm hoping to get through in December. So I have 2 NetGalley books and then 1 Kindle backlist book. So the first NetGalley book that I'm hoping to get to is After Nightfall by AJ Banner. I'm really excited about this book because the synopsis sounds so good. So it's a thriller, which you guys know I love thrillers, and it's basically about there was these 2 best friends, and they had one best friend completely betrayed the other. I don't really know what went on, and it's years later, and the girl who betrayed reaches out to the other friend, and as a gesture of reconciliation she invites her to, I think it's an engagement party, and like as a gesture of good faith and reconciliation. However, at the engagement party there are some kind of hostilities, and then the morning after the engagement party the girl who like did the betrayals dead body is found on the beach, and then I presume shit's gonna get real. I don't know, that synopsis, I mean, it's nothing overly unique, but it just sounds very intriguing to me. You guys know I love a thriller, so I'm really, really excited to get to that one. The second NetGalley read that I have is another thriller. This one is Forget Me Not by A.M. Taylor. This one just is another, I just love thrillers so much. This one is about a girl who, her best friend goes missing and is never found. It's then 10 years later and she's still really dealing with not knowing what happened to her best friend, and then in the same spot that her friend went missing, her friend's younger sister's dead body is found. Intriguing, really excited to get to that one as well. And the Kindle backlist book that I'm hoping to get to, so I've just had a little bit of a twist in just quickly looking up the synopsis before talking to you guys about it so I could tell you guys what it was about. So this is a Kindle backlist book, however it also happens to be a NetGalley read, so it's one of the really old books that I have from NetGalley that I never got around to, and just happens to be the next backlist book, so that's great, 2 birds, 1 stone, that type of thing. However, I just looked it up on my phone to tell you guys what it was about, and I realized that it's the second book in a series, and I haven't read the first book. I feel like it's probably one of those series where you don't need to read the first book, but I don't know if I can do that. So I'm gonna have to do a bit more research, maybe see if I can get the first book cheap on ebook and read that first. I don't know. Anyway, the synopsis of this one just says, which is a great synopsis, so I want to read it, but now I don't know. It's just, this is a debacle. So the synopsis of this is, the class of 2000 held one final party in the old gym before the high school was abandoned and boarded up. At midnight, the school emptied for the last time, or so everyone believed. Is that supernatural in nature? Is it slasher flick type thing of nature? Either one of those I'm intrigued by, so I do really want to read this, but now that it's part of a series, it's thrown a spanner in the works, so I'm going to have to look a bit more into that and see whether I end up reading that one this month or not. Now moving on to the audiobooks that I'm hoping to get to in the month of December. So I have a couple of audiobooks that are in and a few more on hold, and I'm actually trying to stop myself from putting any more on hold because, as I mentioned I think before, I finish work on the 21st of December and I only really listen to audiobooks while I'm at work. So there may be a period where I'm not getting to any more audiobooks until I go back to work, which isn't until the 7th of January. So I don't want to have them come in and then expire before I can even listen to them. So I do have a few though that I'm planning to get to this month. So the first of those is Girl, Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, the subtitle of which is Stop Believing the Lies About Who You Are So You Can Become Who You Were Meant to Be. So this is a nonfiction book. I'd originally put this on hold in the hopes of getting into it last month for Nonfiction November, but I didn't quite get around to it. This is just a nonfiction book. I think it's all just about self-confidence and girls believing in themselves, that type of thing. I don't really know too much about it, but I just saw it on my library's app when I was looking for nonfiction books to read for Nonfiction November, so hopefully it's a good one. I don't know, we'll see I guess. The next audiobook I'm hoping to get to is Love by the Numbers by Karen Kalmaker. This one I'm very intrigued about. This is basically a hate to love female-female romance between a behavioral scientist whose work strips away the foolish mystique that surrounds the human mating dance and her assistant. I am very intrigued by that. I love a good female-female romance, so really looking forward to getting to that one. The next audiobook I'm hoping to get to is The Best Bad Things by Katrina Carrasco. This one is a historical crime novel, and so I'm just going to read you the little beginning part of this synopsis because it's very intriguing. So it says, a vivid, sexy barn burner of a historical crime novel. Blah, blah, blah. We follow Alma Rosales is on the hunt for stolen opium. Trained in an espionage by the Pinkerton Detective Agency, but dismissed for bad behavior and a penchant for going undercover as a man, Alma now works for Delphine Beaumont, the seductive mastermind of a West Coast smuggling ring. The synopsis goes on for a lot more. That's all I really needed to know. I believe this also has female-female romance stuff going on in there. It's historical, it's got crime stuff, it's got drug smuggling, it's got women dressing up as men. It's got a lot of stuff that I'm very interested in. Really, really looking forward to getting to that one as well. And the final audiobook that I'm hoping to get through in December is Under the Udala Trees by Chinelo Okparanta. This one is another historical queer novel about two girls who fall in love in Nigeria, I believe it is. I requested these books all around the same time. So obviously my library was going through a spate of getting in female-female romance books, which I am totally down for. I'm glad to see my library like getting amongst. Very excited for that. I don't know too much about this, but like I say, I was just intrigued. I think I've heard a few of the more like literary fiction channels talk about this book. I was very intrigued by it. It also meets one of my challenges that I need for the Around the Year in 52 Books challenge this year. So I'm definitely hoping to get to this one. I say I'm always interested in a female-female romance. Definitely intrigued that it's set in Nigeria as well. So very intriguing. So those are all of the books that I'm hoping to get through in the month of December. Well, not all of the books. I'm hoping to actually get through a lot more than this, but these are a good start. I would love to chat with you guys in the comments down below if you've read any of these books, if you have any thoughts on them, or what books you guys are planning to get to in December. I would love to know. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe if you want to see more from my channel. That is all I have for this video today. Bye guys!